Hikaru has an extra pawn, but there is white pawn on b5, just we don't see it. Well, still feels like there are some problems for Nepomniachtchi. Because now bishop on b2 is hanging. You don't want to give away the bishop. If you go bishop c3, no, it was not. Well, some jumps here and there, and this way Hikaru wins an exchange, it seems. Yes, Hikaru wins an exchange, although Jan keeps good compensation for it. So now knight a1, there is a rook on a1, isn't it? Aha, so the trick is like that. Nakamura might take on d4 with the rook, seemingly winning a piece. Because if white would recapture, there is rook on a1, which we don't see because of Jan Nepomniachtchi. But after rook d4, e4, knight a1, black would win a piece. But after rook d4, rook a1 to a7 will follow. And with two rooks on 7th rank, white is not risking anything. Yeah, now we can see the position. So rook d4, rook a1, most probably is going to be a draw, but yeah, knight a1. So an attempt to play for a win. Bishop a1, but once again, with rook on 7th rank, it doesn't really look like Nakamura can succeed. Bishop d4, and I don't think Hikaru is better at all. Don't think he's better at all. So some sorts of, I don't know, any move. King g2, h4. So just quickly. So that's the only weakness is the pawn on b5. Oh well, actually rook a5 is quite a bit of a threat now I come to realize. Maybe it's not that simple. So it's rook g7 check, followed by rook h7, rook a5, and Jan might want to simply take h6. Then put, yeah, well, it's rather sharp, this one. So taking on h6, rook b5, then white gonna play rook h8, rook b8, put the rook behind the passed pawn, and it's still not clear if black can play for a win, but yeah, still I would put it like this. So if any side is playing for a win, it's Hikaru Nakamura, but objectively it has to be around equal. Rook b5 and h4, possibly threatening h5. Yeah, check, you have to go to 8th rank anyway, and rook b7 with the king cut. Rook b7, although black king g2 first. Yeah, king g2. Well, it's hard to progress really. Now g4 might be played. g4, king g3 expanded this way. Or no, h5, he goes for h5, then rook h5. So now threatening g4 possibly. Now it starts to get even more complex because, well, how about g4 now? g4, and if rook g6, g5, getting this pawn, yeah, g4, this is what he does, and g5, and then king is marching to f4, and I don't know, it might be actually not that pleasant for Hikaru Nakamura. Also, white might want to lock the rook on g6, playing bishop f6. Well, it's still nothing special though for white, but could be some problems. Could be some problems for Nakamura if he's not careful enough. So let's maybe go to the other game. Because that's perhaps the last chance to switch between the games when they're gonna play on seconds. I'm gonna stay focused on only one. Well, Adams got the extra minute here, and after knight is captured, king f1. Well, actually, Adams progressed quite a bit, although it's still equal apparently. Knight g6, knight goes to f4. Yeah, still, if any side is better, it's black, but I don't think Michael Adams has any danger to lose this one. So black is sort of more active, getting the knight on f4, but at the very least, white can change all the rooks, go queen e2, apparently changing everything. It's hard to, well, queen d2, keeping a bit of attention. So knight f4, and now white has to be careful as well, so not to allow any sort of knight h3, I don't know, no, knight h3 probably can hardly work. This knight stuck on c2 for quite some time. Maybe it's gonna be like this. There is a knight b4, king g1, prophylactic move, c6, and there is knight b4, knight d3, trying to get a knight to e5, but it's gonna be taken on the way. King h2, possibly preparing g3, knight g6 back from Michael Adams. Now, oh, pardon. I was Dominguez playing. I just, yeah, g3. Now king is getting to g2, and knight on g6 gets restricted. Well, they're playing on seconds, and I don't know if it's a. Oh, well, I'm afraid we can't switch anymore. h5. h5 intending h4. That's rather unpleasant for Adams, particularly in a time trouble. So knight e1 and h4, and black gets the square on f4. That's rather unpleasant. So basically, it's not clear how to react with white. He's not in time to cover f4. Knight g3, and now black takes and jumps to f4. Yeah, king g3. Knight h4. Knight h4, and f4 is hanging, and queen c7 is an unpleasant. No, queen c7, knight e5. It's not that dangerous then. Queen e2, knight f5. Ah, well, he simply wins an exchange. Dominguez won an exchange against Adams, so technically it has to be a winning position. Just for Blitz, with knight being installed on e5, and I believe this is what's going to happen. It won't be particularly easy for Lingia Dominguez. Now rook f6, b4. Ah, well, that's a clever one. But rook h6, knight f2. Yeah, it's very stable for white. I mean, well, obviously black has to be winning, but he has to find one decisive, I don't know, penetration, or the possibly changing of queens. Queen f4. Can it be queen f4? Would be not bad, perhaps. King g8. Now if knight g4, what happens? Knight g4, what happens? It's 7, 6, 5. Well, Dominguez can't find what to do. Queen d3. No changes. Of course, if queens are changed, then it's just bad for Adams. But queen d3 or queen d1. Queen d1, and how do you win it? Queen f5, queen d2, repeating moves. a4, he's even improving. Queen f4, yeah, okay. Dominguez cannot find a way to win, so maybe he will make some moves to actually get some time. So let's switch to Nepomniachtchi with Nakamura. This one is also approaching its end. Well, much more time here, but well, Nepomniachtchi went to take all the pawns of Hikaru Nakamura, but he is nearly getting mated there. Oh well, there is a pawn on g7, so it's like, well, it's hard for both of them. It's hard for Nakamura, first of all. How do you stop the pawn on g7? But on the other hand, Nepomniachtchi has his king on a2. And well, the rook on b8. So you just need, basically you need a rook on a file, and you're winning with black. But well, with more time, it's been a bit more time, but now it's equal time for both of them. It's 12. Well, it's 10 seconds only. 9, 8 for Nakamura. Well, Nakamura is in. Once again, he's in trouble. So king d3. What kind of move is that? So if I simply go f6, rook c3 check, and then just f6, and then it's just f6, and I don't know if black is holding. Black is planning to run with the king back, perhaps. Yeah, f6, no, rook f1. So he's holding like on the, well, it feels like the last possibility to hold in. What about rook c7, intending f7? That's what he plays. f7 is coming, so rook a8 check, and rook a7. And that's a nice resource. And now if you move the rook, rook c8, and then it's f7. And you cannot stop the pawns. Yes, and it's lost for Hikaru Nakamura. So he's gonna have to strike back in order to stay in the match. King d3, and then there is still no perpetual check. Yes, it's queen on g8, rook c2, king a3, and no checks at all, and Hikaru loses his game. And